This is my dog, Forrest. We adopted him about a year ago, and he loves his mama and his sister and his family, and he loves playing ball and playing with squeaky toys and meeting new friends. Isn't that right, Foresty?
Hi, my name is Linz. My family and I foster and adopt dogs through Lucky Dog Animal Rescue. My family consists of myself, my husband, my 5-year-old son, Casey, and our 10-year-old adopted dog. Our adopted dog's name is Chi-Chi. We rescued her from Lucky Dog Animal Rescue about 8 years ago.
Me and my family foster dogs from ages 1 to 10 so far.
We've fostered both, but mostly puppies. We love the energy that comes from the little ones like these.
Pretty much 6 months and younger.
These are two of our most recent foster dogs. Jack was our last foster dog. We had Jack for about 2 weeks and kept him until he found his forever home. And we currently have Blade. As you can see, Jack, Blade, and my dog Chi-Chi are all larger, older dogs. We only foster and rescue large dogs and older dogs. I find that older dogs are easier to train and better around young children. I also find that bigger dogs are a little more relaxed around young children.
What advice would you give to a new foster or adopters on how to introduce the dog or puppy to their kids?
I'd probably make sure you're in a smaller area, make sure the kids are comfortable. You get to know what the dog's personality is like before you introduce them to the kids.
In our experience, our daughter wanted to do everything to have with our foster dogs. You know, bathe him or her, feed him or her, take her for a walk, do all these things, but she can't do that. Obviously, bathing would be the purview of the parents, or I usually bathe the dog when they come in, and walking is only an adult activity because some of the dogs aren't used to being in an urban environment. But what my daughter loves is coming on walks with us. She runs next to me when I run with the dog. She'll feed the dog treats once they have a relationship after however many days or hours it might take, or weeks sometimes. Our daughter was about 8 years old when we got our first Lucky Dog foster last year. And even though we were all excited to have a dog in the house, we did have to sit her down to tell her about what the experience might be like. We said, you know, we don't know what kind of dog we're getting. Dog will probably be hungry, probably want treats. Some of them might be scared, some of them might be nervous. Obviously, they've been on a long transport from wherever they came from. They're gonna need some space.
And this is Blade watching television with my son. They play together a lot. They're allowed to play fetch together. They play hide and seek together. They run around the house together and all sorts of games inside, and they run around outside together too. As for rules, Casey is not allowed to walk the dog, hold the dog's leash. He is not allowed to jump on the dog or put his face in the dog's face. In addition, Casey is not allowed to be alone in a room with the dog. These are all just for safety issues. The number one rule is to keep our child safe and the dog safe.
The hardest thing that we needed to tell her again and again was that you really need to give the dog space. You can't, you know, everybody wanted to hug and kiss the dog, can't do that. And of course, every single time, which is actually the very hardest thing we had to say was, we can't keep this dog, because we all fell in love with every single dog and wanted to keep all of them, but our job is to prepare the dog for his or her forever home, and it's just wonderful to see when Lucky Dog makes that perfect connection.
I think we went over the Lucky Dog handbook and let them know what they could do and not do. Like for instance, all of our kids are under 18, so they're not allowed to take the dogs for a walk on the leash. They can come with us, but one of us has to be actually holding the leash. And just understand that, you know, we're responsible for these dogs, for their well-being, and so it's super important that you pay attention and keep them safe.
Tell when a dog needs space, when it has its tail between its legs, it keeps on walking away from you, it stays in its crate, and sometimes it shakes. You should just give it space, and that's the best thing to do. And we always keep the crate door open in case the dog wants to go in. Sometimes just being alone is a little safe place for you to be.
This is Casey sitting down with the dog. We've worked really hard with Casey about treating dogs the same way you treat people. So you treat people and dogs the way that you want to be treated. So this has really helped him understand how to be kind and gentle to dogs and pet them correctly and giving them space.
My favorite part of fostering dogs for Lucky Dog is taking care of them and watching them get adopted. Once we had a dog, she was kind of skinny and she didn't like to eat food. She always went upstairs and started sleeping by herself. But when she got used to us and we got her to eat some food, she was really sweet and nice. And we always have to figure out if they're housebroken and give them a bath and take them on walks. My mom always holds the leash, but I always tag along. And when they get adopted, it's so rewarding after all the hard work you've done to see what this dog has grown into.
My favorite part about fostering puppies is getting snuggles with them and seeing them grow up.
We fostered all sorts of ages of dogs from 1 to almost 10, and I think that they've all been a joy. They've all had their different challenges and particular wonderful moments. I personally like fostering senior dogs or older dogs because their personality's already developed. You know what you're gonna get.
When you hear a growl or you see the dog sort of when you approach them, maybe when they're eating and they get a little nervous, just to step away. You got to use the dog's instincts as a guide to how to behave.
Casey was also interviewed by us about our foster dogs, and these were his answers. What is your favorite part about fostering dogs? Casey says, I like to pet them and I like to play with them. Blade likes dog toys, but he's scared of a siren. Yes, Blade is scared of loud noises in the house, the garbage disposal, sirens on television, car horns, things like that. That is a very common occurrence with foster dogs, so it's something to be aware of. What have you learned about dogs? Casey said, I learned some dogs don't like sirens. Dogs like to play and eat a lot. Oh, and dogs like to eat snow outside. We just got snow in Virginia for the last couple of days, so Casey was able to go outside and play in the snow with Blade and our dog Chi-Chi. What is something that a dog will do that tells you they need space? This is something else we work on a regular basis. Just like people, dogs, when they want space, they tend to walk away from you. So Casey says they take a nap or go to the big chair. If they're sleeping, I'm supposed to leave them alone, and I can't put my face in his face. Again, these are all safety rules, and Casey knows that his job is to keep the dog safe and keep himself safe.
One thing you don't want to do if a dog needs space or just walks in your house for the first time is go up and squeeze his head off and hug him and kiss him. I know you'll want to do that. I always want to do that. But you have to give him space for the first few days or hours. And then when he comes up to you, you should let him sniff you and get used to you. And then you can see if he likes hugs and kisses, and he or she probably will.
My favorite part about fostering is getting all these new and different types of dogs and watching them grow up, especially when they come from bad shelters. It's really nice to see them get to like good health and seeing them matched up with their families. It's really nice.
One of the things I do to help my parents care for my foster dog is I always refill their water bowl when they drink all of it. I go on my mom with walks. And I always play with them if they have energy. I run along my mom when she has the leash. But sometimes when they just want quiet, I cuddle up in their bed with them and just rub their belly, which is relaxing for them and me. And it's really fun to take care of a dog.